Well, hey, Tim.
Hi, Squatch.
We're over here for part number 3 or phase 3, right, Tim?
Yeah.
And he's starting out down here in the basement. He had to cut a hole in his ductwork for his furnace to put what, Tim?
Hot water coil.
A hot water coil. So that's how he's going to deliver the hot water from the boiler to the furnace, and then obviously forced air will blow it throughout the house, right, Tim?
That's it.
Very cool. You having fun back there, Tim? It looks kind of tight.
It's very tight.
You look kind of creepy. You're just your head, your eyeballs sticking through the hole, Tim.
Let me out of here, then.
Is it comfortable back
No,
there? He is so crazy. Get out of there, man. What are you doing? So the hole that Tim just cut, if you look at that now, is no longer a hole, Tim.
It's no longer a hole.
So basically the coil, when it goes into the furnace, it's flush on the side where the hose and the connections are made, but it protrudes beyond the tin on the other side. So Tim picked this up. Where'd you find that at, Tim?
Oh, I'll have to go back. I got it online.
Did you get it online? Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, it just creates a pocket for the coil to slide into, and it seals it, right?
Yeah, it creates a rail for it to ride on.
There you go. So this is the coil, eh, Tim?
This is the coil.
That's what sticks through a couple of inches, protrudes to the other side. That's what the slots are for. That wasn't so bad, Tim. Well, very good.
Water comes in, water goes out.
So you've got a shark bite fitting here. You gonna do the same over here
Yeah,
then,
it's
or
got
are you
shark
sweating
bites
that bite? Oh, okay, you're gonna do both. Yeah. So Tim, not only are you gonna heat your home with this outdoor wood boiler, but you're also gonna heat your water.
Yes, my domestic hot water is going to be...
What is that contraption you have in your hand there? It almost looks like a UV sterilizer tube.
It does look a lot like it. It's a sidearm. It goes on the side of the hot water heater. I had to pull out the overpressure valve so I can put a T in, and then the overpressure valve will go in the end of the T, and then this will be attached to the side of the...
Okay, and that then the water comes in at the bottom there then?
Then the water will come in where I remove the drain valve on it, and that will come into some whatever shape it's going to have to be to come into the bottom of the sidearm.
Oh, okay. So...
And then, of course, the drain will go in to the end of the T as well. So it'll still vent if it overpressures, and you can still drain it.
I gotcha. Okay. So, Tim, we've seen the plumbing at the bottom of the water heater. And I do say water heater, not hot water heater, because, well...
It heats cold water.
It heats cold water. But anyway, so we saw what we got to do down low. You've got some things to do up high there, too, as well,
That's correct. Because the outdoor boiler will be running about 180 degrees or so. Which, if that means that's the tank temperature is going to be. And... that will scald you.
Yeah, that will scald you. Holy smokes. So what do?
You add a tempering valve or mixing valve to the top to the outlet of the hot water heater.
So you're going to put cold water and warm water together
to make 120 degree water.
Oh, so okay. And that goes right. Where does that go?
It goes between your hot and cold.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the hot water, cut your elbow into the mixing valve.
Okay.
It'll be pulling cold water off the inlet, and then it'll mix, and this will end up being into the top. So,
oh wow! So to deliver it though, you're going to have to go back up here for the hot water. Okay,
you'll come back over here.
Gotcha.
So the mixed hot water comes out in the middle.
Perfect. Tim, that is the insulated PEX tubing, also known as Thermopex.
That's it.
Ha! I called it the right thing, folks. Thermopex. So. This is the inside of the house, this end of the equation. Tim, you want to explain the plumbing? Because from what he told me, folks, that water's going to take a little roadsy trip before it gets to where its final destination.
It's going to take a couple loops around the basement.
Well, do tell.
Well, it comes in on the bottom hose here, and it'll end up going back out to the top. But from the bottom hose, it's going to go that direction, out behind all my water treatment stuff. It's going to make its way around the back of the furnace to the water heater, to the sidearm. And from the sidearm, it goes to the hot water coil in the furnace. Then it will go out by my garage to hook up later to my garage. And then it'll come back out through the top tube back out to the boiler.
So-
Reheat it again.
Just make it a nice big old loop.
Nice big old loop.
You're good, Tim. Well, that's going to be a lot of plumbing. Look at this mess, Tim. My gosh. I went and ate birthday cake and you created a Picasso. It looks expensive, Tim.
Do what you got to do to get it to work, and
Yeah, you do.
it works.
So the top of the water heater, Tim, that's a mess. I mean, that it looks like you did a neat job. That's a lot of plumbing, bud.
Well, I had to fit this mixing valve in because the hot water in the tank is going to be 180 degrees.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I had to do some crazy stuff to get the mixing valve in there.
You get the mixing valve in between those. There's not a lot of real estate there, buddy. You know.
So I
very
did
good.
what I had to.
It looks good, Tim. Looks good.
I also added this fill valve for the boiler system with the check valve too.
Oh, okay.
So I had to run hoses and stuff out to the boiler.
So, Tim, you got the coil plumbed, I see, as well.
I did. I got that done, taken care of. So
That's looking pretty sharp. That cleaned up nicely, huh?
I sure did.
Tim,
There it is.
you got it. And in a hurry, too, huh?
I had 4 days for the concrete to cure.
4 days for the concrete cure to pad before. How much does this thing weigh, do you know?
Empty, a little over 2,000 pounds.
2,000 pounds. Wow. It doesn't appear as though your concrete's giving way at all. It don't look like it sank or anything.
Not yet, anyway.
So you've lucked out there. Are we going to go over this thing a little bit? Tim? What's the next thing? So, as you know, I had to leave to go to a birthday party, and I took off. Tim wrapped up the plumbing. He had to go down to the hardware store. He wrapped the plumbing up, and I'm back out here now, and we're revealing this. There's something you've got to get it going right away with it, you said, Tim? You had to fire it.
I gotta get it up to temp to kill any bacteria that could be in the water that
So-
will eat the metal treatment. to
Oh,
keep it from
okay.
Oxidizing.
I gotcha. So I think we were talking about it. It's about, what, over 300 gallons in this thing, right?
330 gallons.
330 gallons this thing holds. He's got to boil it off basically for 24 hours to be safe. So we're going to fire it up here real quick. And then, Tim, can you go over some of the connections you made?
Sure.
So you pretty much just stoke. You got to get that water up to a certain temperature then, Tim? Is that what?
75 degrees.
Got to be over 175 degrees. So for 24 hours, you're going to just let her sit out here and burn.
That's it.
You don't open any of the valving going into the house or anything of that nature?
No, once it's up to 175, I open up the valves going to the house.
We got a pretty good fire going in there, Tim.
Sure looks that way.
So this the meat and potatoes of it as far as the boiler connections go out, right? I mean, all you have really other than power are your 4 PEX lines coming in here. Is that correct?
Correct. We have 2 other thermal PEX lines, one going to my barn and one going to the house. This is actually future because I have nothing hooked up in the barn. So this is doing nothing right now.
Nothing.
And this goes to the house. It's connected to the house, the water heater and my furnace, and then comes back here.
Okay, so this is the loop to the furnace. So this is the outgoing water to the furnace.
This is outgoing
the
water, return water.
Return water, okay. And it's obviously the same on that, right?
Correct.
Once you're gonna get that hooked up. And the 2 different pump sizes because of the length of the run of the hose and how high the head pressure is. And
That's correct. I got 150 feet of pipe in the ground, and where the garage heater's gonna be is all taken into consideration with sizing a pump.
of the pump, okay. Oh, good, very good.
And the barn is only a 20-foot run, and it's gonna be a lower head pressure, so this can be a smaller pump.
Gotcha, very cool. Let's look at this thing overall and just get a little view from back from it a ways. Tim, what do you think?
Sure.
Anything in particular on the outside here, Tim, that you'd like to point out on this, or is it pretty much what we see and what we've shown to this point, which was the connections and the electronics?
The only thing is when you're loading it with wood, it's got to bypass the secondary combustion. So
Okay.
It sends all the smoke right out through the stack, so it don't hit you in the face.
Ah, so you're not getting. And is that what that lever is there
That's
then?
what this lever does. It opens up a valve that in the back of the
Ah.
firebox.
Well, that's good to know. That's backside of the boiler, Tim. What do you got going on back here?
Of course, we have the chimney, and below the chimney, we have the heat exchanger.
That's where the heat exchanger's at, huh?
Just
Oh, wow.
lifts off. Set that off to the side. And when it comes to cleaning, you just
Oh.
open it up
No kidding.
and you can scrape it out. And
Okay, so there. How often do you? Well, obviously you don't know entirely yet, but
I believe about once a week.
about once a week they recommend you clean it. Okay. They have special brushes or something you can buy, Tim, for
They have
that? Or?
scrapers.
It's
that come with
scrapers.
it.
Okay. And they came with the boiler.
They did.
Okay. That stands to reason. What's the little valve up here, Tim? It says a full line. What is that?
That's the water level.
That's the water level?
They flip the valve up, water level comes up.
Okay.
Checking it. Of course,
Gotcha.
you close it, it drains itself back out.
Right. Okay. Tim, you're making great progress on the firewood pile. You folks saw that getting delivered just, not long ago. And this has really happened quick, Tim. You know what?
Really came together at the last minute.
It did. But you've got, how many cords of firewood do you think you got stacked already?
6.
But Tim, between having to do the concrete, the boiler, the firewood, all the plumbing, you've got to be happy to see that thing running.
Beyond happy.
Even happier when you get your bill for your propane.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof, right? Are you still going to use the propane for cooking or anything, or do you got electric?
That's all electric. Only thing I'll be using propane is during the summer for hot water.
Hot water? Yep, that makes sense. Well, hey, Tim, thanks for including us in your boiler project. I appreciate it, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for coming
What I
out.
don't know that I appreciate is that t-shirt you got on there. I'm a dude, all right? I don't look at what other men are wearing. I just standing here, I just read that. I know, I'm awesome. Let's not make a big deal. Why not, right, Tim? It's awesome you shared. I will say that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video series. I hope you'll come around for the next one. Tim, can we count on coming out and getting an update from you?
Definitely.
Very cool, guys.
Counting on it.
Well, hey, we're gonna get back to tearing trees down and building houses. I don't know, something like that. But thank you for sharing again, Tim. Look forward to our next project together, huh?
Looking forward to it.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, you stay happy out there.